Hisense just dropped its new TV lineup, and there is a lot to talk about, including a brand new monster of a TV. So today, we're going to break down the entire 2025 range, model by model. The goal here is simple, to help you figure out exactly where that sweet spot is between price and performance, so you know which TV is right for you. Let's dive in.
So let's just start with the headline. Hisense's new top-of-the-line, a massive 116-inch TV, is going to cost you $30,000. And yeah, you heard that right. It's a truly incredible piece of tech, but, probably not going in my living room or yours anytime soon.
And that really raises the big question, right? If a $30,000 TV is leading the pack, what about the models for the rest of us? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out. We're going to go through the entire lineup to find where the real value is hiding.
Okay, let's start at the very beginning with the QD series. Now, this is your entry point to the lineup. But as you're about to see, even down here, Hisense is packing in some pretty impressive tech for the money.
So that QD you see, it stands for quantum dot. Just think of it like this. There are these microscopic crystals inside the TV, and when light hits them, they glow with these super pure, specific colors. What that really means for you is a picture with a much wider and more vibrant range of colors than a standard TV. And honestly, finding this in a budget model is a fantastic start.
First up is the QD6. For around $500, you're getting a 65-inch screen that has both Dolby Vision and Atmos. Now, it is a direct-lit LED, so you're not going to get those super deep, inky blacks. But hey, for a bedroom, an office, or if you just need a good, convenient extra screen, it's a really solid choice.
But for about $100 more, you can step up to the QD7. And let me tell you, this is a huge deal. Why? Because the QD7 is your ticket into the world of mini LED technology, and that completely changes the game for picture quality.
So what makes mini LEDs so much better? Well, instead of just a few big backlights, the TV uses thousands of tiny ones. This gives it almost pinpoint control over what parts of the screen are bright and what parts are dark. You get these really deep blacks right next to bright highlights. The difference in contrast, that pop, is just massive compared to the QD6.
All right, next we move into Hisense's main event, the ULED lineup, starting with the U6. Now on paper, the QD7 and the U6 look pretty similar. They both have mini LED, right? So what does spending that extra cash on the U6 actually get you?
Well, it really boils down to two huge upgrades in performance: how bright the screen can get and how smooth the motion looks on screen. Let's start with the motion.
The QD7, it has a 60 Hz refresh rate. That means the image is updating 60 times a second. And look, that's totally fine for watching most movies and TV shows. But the U6, it leaps all the way up to 144 Hz. For anything with fast motion, this is an absolute game changer. I'm talking sports, action movies, and especially video games. That higher refresh rate just erases motion blur and makes everything look incredibly fluid and responsive.
And that gaming advantage? It's backed up by the ports on the back. To actually get that 144 Hz performance from a PS5, an Xbox Series X, or a modern gaming PC, you need HDMI 2.0. The U6 gives you two of those ports, whereas the QD7 is stuck with the older HDMI 2.0 standard. So for gamers, the U6 is really the starting line.
Okay, so the U6 is clearly a very capable TV, especially if you're a gamer. But what happens when we climb the ladder one more time to the U7? What more are you getting for your money here?
The U7 makes some absolutely massive jumps. Look at this. Peak brightness triples to a dazzling 3,000 nits. That's going to make HDR content just explode off the screen, even in a really bright room. The audio gets a major upgrade to a 2.1.2 surround system with a built-in subwoofer. And for you hardcore gamers, you now get 4 HDMI 2.1 ports and an even faster 165 Hz refresh rate.
And that brings us to the model that, for a lot of people, is the real star of this entire show, the U8. Year after year, it gets a reputation for hitting that perfect balance of high-end features and a price that doesn't make you cry. So let's see if it really is the sweet spot of the lineup.
And hey, it's not just us saying it. As our friends at Digital Trends put it, the U8 represents a really nice sweet spot. It basically takes all the great stuff we've already seen and pushes it firmly into premium territory.
but without that crazy flagship price tag.
The biggest leap by far is brightness. I mean, just look at this chart. You can see the nice climb from the U6 to the U7, and then bam! The U8 just rockets up to an incredible 5,000 nits. To be honest, that's brighter than you will probably ever need, but what it means is that those HDR highlights are going to have an intensity that truly, seriously pops off the screen.
And the upgrades don't stop there. The U8 also adds in Wi-Fi 6E for super stable streaming, if you have a compatible router. And the sound system gets another huge boost, this time to a full 4.1.2 multi-channel setup. So you're getting truly cinematic immersive audio right out of the box.
All right, let's go to the top of the mountain. Let's talk about the flagship U9 and that headline-grabbing UX. This is where Hisense basically says, okay, forget value for a second, and just shows off the absolute limits of what's possible in a TV today.
The U9 is the official flagship, and it's all about taking everything to the next level. Brightness gets another crazy push to 6,500 nits, and a more advanced processor means it does an even better job making all your content look sharp and clean. Plus, if you spring for the bigger sizes, that sound system expands to a truly powerful 5.1.27.
Which brings us full circle. Back to the $30,000 question. What on earth makes that UX so special? Well, it's pretty cool. Where all the other TVs use white mini LEDs and then a color filter, the UX actually uses individual red, green, and blue mini LEDs as its light source. This lets it create colors with the purity and saturation that other technologies just can't touch. You combine that with a ridiculous 6.2.2 channel sound system, and you've got a true home cinema centerpiece. So after all that, what's the big takeaway? It's actually pretty simple. If your #1 priority is getting the biggest screen you possibly can for your money, without giving up key features like mini LED and high refresh rates, then Hisense absolutely needs to be at the top of your shopping list. And if you need proof, here it is. Right now, you can get a massive 100-inch version of that U6 model we talked about. That's with mini LED and the 144 Hz refresh rate for just $2,400. I mean, that is an absolutely killer deal for that much TV.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. As TVs get brighter, bigger, and smarter every single year, what's the one feature that matters most in your living room? Is it pure retina-searing brightness? Is it that ultra-smooth motion for gaming? Or is it just getting the biggest screen you can hang on the wall? Let us know. Thanks for tuning in.